beautiful, and I know you want to take pictures, but please don't go over here. We have a hearing impaired section, and if you walk in front of them to take a photo, they don't know what's going on. Stay out where you are, please. All right, Ms. Nichols, hi. So I thought I'd ask you just a few questions, and then if you want to share some stories, or our audience will be lining up over here for questions from them. Is that okay?
It's okay with me.
All right, fabulous.
With you?
Yeah! Nice, there we go. Okay, everybody wants to talk about the over-a-Kirk kiss. I know you've heard it a million times. But I have a question. Was it really that big of a deal? I mean, didn't Kirk go around kissing other women all the time?
Captain Kirk would never do that. Once he kissed Uhura.
So were you aware when you were filming that kiss that it was going to be so groundbreaking and crazy for America?
I didn't know that it was. It was just an integral part of the storyline. And it wasn't like, you know, they were lovers. It just was something that happened, as I recall. It was in the 23rd century, for Christ's sake. My grandmother and grandfather did it before I was born, before my father was born.
Who knew? All right, well, along with...
Kissed each other. Interracial kiss.
You had to clarify. I understand. So on the series, you also got to show off your musical talents.
I got to what?
Show off your musical talents? You got to sing.
Oh, sing. The other one.
I don't have any questions that can top that. I will keep talking to her. If you all want to start getting lined up, that will be the way to go. Star Trek. How did Star Trek help influence you working with NASA? Mm-hmm. You've been with NASA a long time now. Did Star Trek have anything to do with that?
I've been extremely supportive of our National Space Program. When I first met the very erudite people who work at NASA, I discovered they're all Trekkies. So healthy. They know, if we did it, they know it. And that was exciting for me and to me, because they feel like we represent in a positive and important way who they are. So there are more trekkers there than walk around the street, I think. and they're very proud of it. So I really like them.
Good. So you've mentioned all the Trekkies. Have you seen the new Trek movies?
Have I what?
Seen the brand new movies? The Star Trek reboot?
The new one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do we want to know what you think of them?
I thought there was a lot of innovative new things instead of just repeating what's been done and confined to that, I thought there was a great deal of imagination that had to, do you agree? I don't know. There was a lot of input, and that's what Star Trek does. That's why I think that Star Trek is so powerful. Because it makes you think, and there's this great what if, and if it's in the 23rd century, how much has really changed and grown and evolved, and so I really kind of liked it to see how we imagine a Trek to be, you know, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. As long as I don't take it into somewhere that you go, huh? then it's a good thing to imagine. That's what artistry is. That's what writing is about. That's what taking it and saying, if we could do this, what could we do if we went this way or that way? It's kind of like designing a dress, you know, and you design something absolutely magnificent and everybody's talking about it, and you go, I love it. I wonder what it would look like if we did this to it, you know? And that's creativeness. It's something that provokes the creative mind. And for me, I think that's wonderful. As long as it doesn't go idiotic. Idiotic is a little good sometimes, but not too much all the time.
Would you do a cameo if they asked you as Uhura?
If I what?
Would you do a cameo in another Star Trek?
Would I do a cameo of Uhura?
Yes.
No, I do a lead role.
You got it. No, perfect. How about over here? To have one of our audience members.
Questions?
Hello, Miss Nichols.
Hi there.
Hi. I have been a long-time fan, and I do want to quickly let you know that you are one of the most beautiful women who you actually... You are one of the 5 women who are responsible for me not realizing I was gay. Okay, you kept me going for a long time. Now, I do want to say, I very much enjoy your singing career. I know a lot of the questions here today will probably be about Star Trek and your other things, but I even have, like, your first album, Dark Side of the Moon. Starry-Eyed is one of my favorite songs.
I'm not hearing you. The microphone is distorting what I'm hearing.
Okay. How about, can you catch me now? How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I'm not quite sure what you're saying.
Speak slower.
I will speak slower. There we go.
Like and lower, yes.
And lower. Okay, I can do that.
Yes.
Slower and lower.
That's very good.
We're having a moment, aren't we? It's you and me right now.
Yes, baby.
So, like I was saying, I've enjoyed your musical career. I have your first album, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes.
Starry-Eyed is one of my favorite songs of yours. You did a one-woman show where you got to play a whole bunch of different jazz singers. What was that like? never found anything about it other than knowing it existed.
Well, I think it goes back to when I was a kid and found out that I could do a lot of things. I didn't know that it was called impersonating, but I had a lot of favorite stars who were things. And I used to entertain my mother and father and my sisters and brothers. And so our dad would say, okay, Nichelle is going to do, what was it called, Grace, but is going to do a show for us, and tell us what it is, and then I explain to them what I'm going to do. And then I would do all of these characters as I put them in my show. I cast them in my show. And then I would do the men, whatever he was going to do. And I'd do the women, whoever she was going to be. And I'd do the kid who was questioning what mom and dad were talking about. And then I'd do the little baby. And so I had fun doing, and then I do the neighbor. We all got one of those, And it was fun to create. Now I was I was really young. I was maybe in my teens. I don't think I was in my teens yet, but from a little kid, from a little kid, I would design these shows, and when and they knew it was coming, my mom and dad, and so they shush all my sisters and brothers and shut up, and then the neighbors found out about it, and then I put on this show, and I would play all these characters, and they would laugh, and they would go, oh, and they would love it, and I found out then I'm an actress. It's what they call it. And that's how I became an actress who could sing and dance and do characters. And it didn't seem strange to me or phenomenal. It just seems like, if you're going to be talking about, then you've got to get a voice of a man who says to his wife one thing. And she says, well, I wasn't thinking of it in that way. And so I would just create characters. And then I finally started recording them and taping them and developing them further. So that started me in my writing. Yeah. And then I would get all the kids in the neighborhood and cast them after I'd auditioned them. And they were just so excited about it. Some were really, really good. And others were, well, they had to play the ushers or something. But I had fun growing up and being a lot of characters. I didn't know that I was capable of it because it was just something that I did,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you more. Thank you.
Hi. I was wondering, how disappointed were you when you learned?
Does that microphone come this way? Does it have any more?
Don't know if they'll allow it.
Yeah, because I can hardly make out what you say. Da, 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 da. Is there, yeah, that's right. Is there a cord connected to it? Voila. Yes?
So I was wondering, what was your first reaction when you heard that we, as a country, were not doing any more space flight, and the only thing that we would be doing was sending rovers to other planets like the Curiosity rover?
Not true. They may have thought or decided to, and that might be the case for a while. But can you imagine once having gone to the moon, stopping there? It just takes some insight, right? Yeah.
I wanted to know from you, since
This is the beginning. It's just the beginning. And there will always, even intelligent people, goof up. It might just kind of settle in on one little thing. Thank you. One little thing for a while. But the mind keeps growing. You know, it's like the first person that wrote a song said, oh, and put music to it. Do you think he stopped there?
No.
No. And then you hear a song, and you say, I can do that. And you do your thing. And that's what creativity to me is like. Or why it's so important, yeah. So if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can dream it, you can do it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are we all over here, or there's nobody over there, right?
Everybody's over here.
Who's talking to whom? Hi.
What was your reaction when you saw that Spock and Uhura were together in the new Star Trek movie?
When I saw that Spock and Uhura run
Were together in the new Star Trek movie.
together, how?
Dating. Dating.
Dating? I don't remember them dating.
In the new Star Trek movie, The Return to Darkness. Well,
Oh! I thought it was an interesting... I thought it was interesting. I don't believe it, but I do. But when you think about it, if you work together, you get so you know someone really well, and if you like what you see or you hear, it makes sense to you. You become closer to that person. It doesn't mean you have to marry that person, but it might take you somewhere that you might not have gone intellectually or even before, you know. Yeah, and that's what people are about. We exchange ideas, and sometimes we really are attracted, drawn to someone because they think or speak in where your brain goes. Aha, that's very interesting, you know, and it might take you to a personal togetherness or not. maybe just maybe business. That's how business people work. They think alike. You know, it doesn't mean you have to marry. So, and that's what makes human beings greater than the lower forms of animals. We can think and extract from what someone else thinks and take it from there and argue the point, right? And argue the point and not be mad. I argue the point with people and we almost knock down, drag out. Then we wind up laughing like crazy because we both got a new view that we didn't have before. Make sense? Thank you. Hi there.
Hi, Nichelle. My name is Jason.
Jason?
Yes.
Hi, Jason.
One of my favorite non-Hooter roles for you was probably Truck Turner, until more recently you just did a part in a movie called True Love.
Oh,
And in
that
True
wasn't
Love,
recently. That was some time ago. True Love. Yeah.
True Love, you played the grandma of a gay teenager. And you were the loving grandmother who just used to ask the question, are there any cute black girls at that school you go to? And then when your teenager grandson came out, you still continued to be the loving grandmother and you just asked, well, are there any cute black boys at that school that you go to?
That was the character. And people often get actors confused with the character that they play. Do you know what I'm saying? You might not believe it at all, but that's not you. But the character is interesting. And you want to play that character the way the character is, not the way you think the character should be, or all the characters would be the same.
Well, as that character, I think you forced people to think about the role of families and how they affect LGBT youth.
Say,
I think you forced families to think about how they treat their gay youth.
they're babies.
Their babies.
Yes.
And I really applaud you for taking that role. And I want to ask you, Nichelle Nichols, how do you feel about same-sex marriage and about LGBT equality?
Everybody is different. Some people believe one way and other people believe another way. I don't have to believe exactly in a way to appreciate the ability to argue the point with you. If that makes sense.
It does.
And still like you and have great respect for your intelligence. Do you know, I don't have to get mad at you because you don't think the way I think. Or you don't have to get mad at me because I don't think the way that you think. But I can separate it and think about it and where you're coming from, you know, and examine it and go, aha. And then I see another part of you that I didn't know, and I can know you deeper. I can also hide myself. The more I know, the more I'm able to communicate or not. Yes? It's what we do. It's what we do. It really is what we do.
As Uhura, you gave women permission to be powerful. You gave black people permission to seek advancement. And it's nice to know that you're still forcing people to think.
Yes.
And you're still changing the way we see this world. And I applaud you.
Thank you very much. There was a time when we would not if you, anybody at any point in time, stand up and turn around and look at the audience, there was a time when the audience would not look like this. The audience would all look one way. Either all female, or all male, or all kids, or all black, or all white, or all yellow, or all red. It gets boring. And so, vive la différence! Hi there.
How did you guys build the ship?
I beg your pardon?
You guys build the ship?
Did I board the ship?
You guys build the ship?
What did he say?
He's saying build.
How did they build the ship in the show?
How did you board the ship?
The
Oh,
ship.
we beamed up. When the ship was there, you didn't take another little ship to go there. And then your molecules, and then it reassembled them when you got that. Make sense? Makes sense to me.
I was just coming to say hi. I'm lovely over here.
What do you think?
Beaming up is a good way to get out.
I think so too. I think somebody very, very brilliant discovered that. Yes.
While filming Star Trek, what was your favorite memory?
What did you say about Star Trek?
While filming Star Trek,
While filming Star Trek,
what was your favorite memory?
being Gene Roddenberry, being chosen for this, discovering this incredible mind that he possessed, and then to be a part of it, to be allowed to be a part of it, and to give my own insight into it. And Gene Roddenberry was an incredible human being. He did not say, you do it my way or no way. You saw it another way, and he'd say, prove it. And then you had to, it was like, just like if you're an actor and you see your part and you think it's one way, and nothing is one way. You're not even the same all the time, right? And so a character that you're being cast to play, the producer or director that even cast you has an idea of what that character is and tells you about it. It is not your job to take that carte blanche and stay within it, because nobody is just one way. But how did that person get to be that way? Where did that come from? Where is that going? Is it good for humankind, or is it just talk? And that's why we are so wonderful, because we can have all of these thoughts that are just as valid as what I believe. And just because I have a microphone and can reach you all the way in the back doesn't mean that you in the front or in the back have to accept everything I say. Naturally, I wish you would. If you were smart enough. Don't we all feel that way? I mean, we really think, and then we really think if we think, and we develop something. And that's how ideas become reality, because someone sat down and thought it up. And that's the way a lot of things don't happen, because you think them up and then you convince yourself, nah, that couldn't be possible. Gene Roddenberry didn't feel that way. He would think something up, or somebody would come along and think something to him, and he'd take it home and think about it. And sometimes something marvelous happened out of it that you thought he just created. And he did, because someone laid it out there, or a piece of it, and that's what thoughts are. They grow, or they just sit there until someone comes along and says, that's pretty interesting. I never thought about that. How many times have you said that? I never thought of it that way. And then that will never leave your mind, by the way. So you might as well take it and think about it. Whether it's good or bad, or, not so good. Nothing is good or bad. It's something that makes sense?
Thank you.
Sure. I like your gloves.
Thank you.
I signed you.
Thank you. So Zoe Saldana plays another version of Uhura in the new Star Trek movie. Have you had the opportunity to meet with her and give her some of your insights about the character?
I was doing the last Star Trek film that I did was when I met her, and I think she was about to do that, or maybe it was another movie I was doing. But she came on the set, and I met her, and I recognized her name as the one who was going to now do my role. And, and I was fascinated, and she turned out to be this wonderful person who not only loved being cast in this, so she had loved Star Trek, but now she's going to play Uhura, and to her, she's now going to be Nichelle Nichols playing Uhura, who played Uhura. So she wanted to talk to me about it, pick my brain. And so we talked and we talked and we talked, and then I told her, but everything that we've talked about doesn't mean a matter to a pile of beans if you don't take it and put yourself into it, because that's how it grows. That's how characters grow. So I hope that makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi there.
My question is, who would you rather kiss?
You.
William Shatner? Thank you. Who would you rather kiss, William Shatner or Leonard Nimoy? Personally, I like Leonard
Let me think about it. Go right ahead with what you were talking about. I'm going to think about this for the next 40 years. It depends on what day it is.
Good enough for me.
Thank you.
So I am familiar with some of your...
Where'd you get that beautiful curly hair?
My father.
Your dad? What does your mom's look like?
It's not as curly, but it's also pretty curly.
It's beautiful. You see this beautiful curly hair?
I'm interested to hear your opinion as you and your character and Star Trek have all been icons for equality, not least among which have been the issue of race. And I'm interested to hear your opinion from one actor to another on race and its place now in the entertainment industry and how it's grown and what still is left to do.
The question is, is left to do, still to do?
Sure, yeah.
I think, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know what's still to do, if anything. I don't know if it ever was. It simply is. It becomes what it becomes when you question it. And then if you question it and it is there in your mind strong enough for you to examine it and disagree with it and yes, then it becomes something fresh and new because it's out of you. You might do the same thing and it's not fresh and new, it's just, okay? And at some point in time, you're forced to think about it as, So, thoughts are things, including, that's a thought on it, but if we must always respect the fact that we think about something. It's the most precious gift that God gave us, and she knows what she's doing. Doesn't she? But you see what I'm saying? Because I might be totally right, those of you who clapped. God is not male or female. God is. And God bless it that it is so. But to get back to your question again?
I guess just your opinion on how race is treated in the entertainment industry.
Race is treated just like anything else is treated. We are taught to think a certain way. And at some point in time, because we have minds that are, yours is not yours and yours is not his, we think in a different way. We think deeply about what that, or we dismiss it. At some point in time, if enough people start thinking a certain way or examining, then other people come along and say, well, I didn't think that was such a big deal. And suddenly you're thinking about it. And suddenly a lot of other people are thinking that way or not, or thinking a third way or a fourth way or another way. And in so doing, you have something worth thinking about, because it can create a whole other way of living. I remember that when Star Trek first came out and became popular, and we went out to the entire audience was white. It wasn't that there were no black, brown, yellow, red, or green other people looking at it and enjoying it. It's just, it wasn't, we didn't communicate together like we do now. We don't even have to think about it, right? And so, one of the great things about Star Trek it opened up that whole avenue, this huge avenue of communication, because you do want to know what that person is thinking about and how it's different from what you think. And you do want to know what that person is thinking about because it's the same as you think. It corroborates how you think. And then out of that grows life. Not the kindness in the belly that comes out. But it is. And from that people, well, I never thought about it that way. Then somebody else comes along and thinks about it that way, and somebody else comes along and thinks about it. And if we had a box that could listen through electricity and set it on the stage, a person could hear themselves and realize that other people are hearing them, and realize that you, way back there, may or may not be listening to me, but I think you are because you're quiet and attentive and thinking. And if I say something that you agree with, even sometimes the ones that are not clapping are going, yeah, I can dig that. Or, there goes another one of those people who don't know what's going on. But that's what makes people so interesting. And that makes me very, 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 very proud that I'm one of the people. A people. Aren't you? Yes. Aren't we? We are the people. Because we have this ability, this mind, and this ability to think. And as we think, even we argue our thinking, don't we? To ourselves, we argue ourselves. Well, no, on the other hand, we do it all the time. So we're constantly thinking, arguing it, refining it, dismissing it, growing it, and the world is either better for it or until somebody else sees it another way. The human race is just about the greatest thing that God put on this earth, or beyond the earth, because why it's so important that we are who we are on earth, we're thinking, finally, it's not just the moon up there. For years and years, yeah. Well, the moon comes out at this time because we need it to shine down on us at such a time. And so You didn't tell the moon what to do. You use it, but you know, it makes something that you can relate to. And then you want to know more about it. What's on that moon that shines at a certain time in the day? And why? Why now when it was, where was it when the sun was shining? And we start, in other words, we start questioning. And the more we question, the more we create something that nobody thought of. Well, that's not true. Somebody did think about it, thought of it, but you did something with it. That's the difference. That's the difference. You can think it and think you said, they've got this out here now, I thought of that, I was thinking of it. You didn't do anything about it. But now you can use it. Yes, now you can use it because somebody went ahead and did the next step and the next step. Maybe you stopped there and somebody came and picked it up from there. So, makes sense? Good question. Hi there.
Hi, Ms. Nichols. As a fellow musician, I had no idea you could sing. I've been a fan of Star Trek for only 4 years, though, but still, I had no idea you could sing. You have a great voice.
From the time I was this high, I came out singing. My father swears it. He delivered me. So he swears the first thing I did was hit high C. And he promoted it, you see. In other words, he didn't, she's screaming again, shut that child up. You know, the child is trying to communicate. Remember? Yeah, he's going. How did she?
So my question is, are you still friends with your fellow cast members, such as Bill Shatner and Leonard Nimoy?
Never have not been.
I'm sorry?
I never have not been friends with them. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to agree with somebody all the time to be friends or to be glad they're breathing the air that you breathe. I don't have to agree with certain people, certain heroes on a starship, but I will follow him to the ends of the earth because he knows what he's doing. Just because I don't like how he, or how many of them he. It has nothing to do with what he can really give to the world. Same thing with me. Same thing with you. Each and every one of us has something to give to this world. Or then what the hell are we doing here? Right? What are we doing here if we're not making it better? Better than those that are trying to make it worse, you know? Make sense? Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? What do you want? Okay.
We have time for one more question.
I have time for about 5,000.